Now on WRDE Coast TV.
It's a cool start to our Wednesday with another nice late summer day on the way. However, there is a first alert weather day for Saturday. I'll have the impacts of that coming up.
And a trash problem here at the Indian River Inlet. Why one volunteer is stepping up.
They were forced to leave the car into a lane of traffic.
The words from the attorney filing a lawsuit on behalf of the family of the man who was killed after reportedly forced out of a Lyft ride onto Coastal Highway last year.
Salisbury murder cases, 2 separate investigations, including one that has a 12-year-old in custody.
Millsboro bypass project underway, the part that is a priority now and the end goal of this effort.
From the beaches to the bay, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News Today. Your morning news starts right now.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. It is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, I'm Paige Marley.
It's Wednesday, but in an odd scheduling quirk. First day you and I and Bob have all been together.
That's right.
This week.
Where'd you go?
I went out.
I know, I did too. Well, happy to have all of us back together, and Heidi, of course, too. We'll get to her in a little bit, but let's bring in first alert meteorologist Bob Trahy, because Bob, the team, we're back together on this Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that you guys got a day off this week. That's good. While I was holding down the fort here, yeah. It is a chilly start to the day. Make sure you grab the jacket out the door. 52 in Georgetown, 53 in Seaford, 50 in Redden and Selbyville, 51 in Delmar, 60 in Rehoboth, so a little milder along the beaches where that water is a little warmer. We're looking at light winds. It was much breezier yesterday. I think the winds will come down today. A few clouds out there. Watch for a little patchy fog. Some clouds to the south, also to the north of us. But all in all, we're looking good with high pressure in place. And Futurecast keeping us nice and clear today. Temperatures warming through the 60s by noon into the 70s. Only 68 Dewey Beach, but by 4 o'clock around 76 in Georgetown. Salisbury 78, but cooler along the coastal areas and cool into this evening. Day part forecast keeps it, we'll call partly sunny as we go through the day, but big changes into the weekend. We have a first alert weather day Saturday for rain and wind. I'll have the coastal impacts coming up.
All right, Bob, thank you. Delaware Seashore State Park. It's known for its views, its fishing, its surfing, but something you may not think about, it's trash.
Yeah, I love going there, Paige, but park volunteers say there is a problem. There is a real trash problem at this state park, and it is not improving. Coast TV News reporter Heidi Kirk is live at the Indian River Inlet. Heidi, volunteers say if you start to look around, you'll notice the trash.
Good morning, Matt and Paige. It's beautiful out here at the Indian River Inlet. In fact, the sun is just about to come up back here. But one thing that you might not notice is the trash. In fact, take a look at this. It's a cigarette butt. It took my photographer and I just about 2 minutes to find one of these. And volunteers say that these are the #1 pieces of trash that they pick up on a daily basis. Now go ahead and take a look at some footage on your screens. You're going to see my friend Lisa Bellick. She's a volunteer for the parks and she works 5 days a week out here picking up trash. That's her primary job. And she says the main things that she finds are those cigarette butts in small plastic wrappers. And she says it's gotten worse, so that she's asking for solutions. Now, when I asked Lisa how the park is doing with their cleanup effort, she said they're actually doing a pretty good job. But there is one area she said could see improvement. She says she would like to see more signage that deters people from littering, especially when it comes to cigarettes. They're actually outlawed here at the park, but obviously people are still continuing to smoke them and they're ending up on the ground. Back to you.
All right, Heidi Kirk live at Indian River Inlet. Thank you for that. Moving on, we continue to learn troubling details about the investigation into rideshare company Lyft in this stretch of Coastal Highway that we're showing you. This is after a former staffer for former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo was killed in Dewey Beach last summer.
Coast TV News' Mallory Metzner shows us some new information about this case as it becomes public. Attorneys for the victim's family are hoping criminal charges will follow.
A night out with friends turned tragic on July 24, 2022. According to new information in these court documents obtained by Coast TV News on Tuesday, Sidney Wolf and his friends called a Lyft to pick them up from the Starboard on Coastal Highway in Dewey Beach to be dropped off in Bethany Beach. These court documents allege that driver Laquise Leon had a child in the trunk of the SUV. Documents state Leon started yelling at the passengers when they asked the child questions concerned about the young child's safety. On this dark stretch of Coastal Highway, Leon allegedly stopped in the left lane and forced passengers to get out of the car, denying their requests to be dropped off in a safer spot.
They couldn't exit the vehicle from the driver's side rear door because that door was not operative. So they were forced to leave the car into a lane of traffic.
Shane Inspector says Sidney Wolf was the first person to get out and was immediately struck and killed before Leon drove away. It's important to note that the driver who hit Wolf is not being sued. Spector says this lawsuit seeks financial compensation for Wolf's wife Lindsay and 2 children, with the hope that it would also set an example for Lyft to reform its safety and driver requirements. According to Lyft's website, criminal background checks are required for drivers, and vehicles must have 5 to 8 seatbelts and 4 doors. Mallory Metzner, Coast TV News.
And the Attorney General's office told Coast TV News that this is a pending case and they cannot comment yet. We also reached out to Lyft for an update on the driver and a comment about this case, but also we still have not heard back.
We're also learning more about the timing of this crash. It happened July 24th, 2022. That was a Sunday. The group was picked up at 1:23 a.m. in Dewey. Bars close at 1 a.m., so the group appears to have been out late Saturday night. State police confirmed the Lyft driver left the scene after Wolf was struck and killed. That was around 2 a.m. Last summer, Lyft told Coast TV the driver was permanently removed from service. The driver who hit Wolf was never viewed at fault as they were following traffic laws.
This morning, a 12-year-old is facing some of the most serious of murder charges. The Wycomico County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of a 2-year-old. The investigation led to charges being issued for a 12-year-old child who lives in the same home. Police say the 12-year-old was arrested and taken to Lower Eastern Shore Children's Center, where he's currently being held. Charges include murder of the 1st and 2nd degree. And also in Salisbury, we're learning more about a new indictment involving a death from a shooting that happened during a 4th of July block party. According to the Wycomico County Sheriff's Office, a grand jury indicted Kyrie Van Landehingham on 59 counts to include first-degree murder for his involvement in the July 5th murder that occurred on Chippewa Boulevard. Van Landehingham was served the indictment and still remains held without bond. President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, plans to plead not guilty to federal gun charges. Hunter Biden is also asking for his initial court appearance to be held remotely. In a letter to Magistrate Judge Christopher Burke, Biden's attorney Abby Lowell said Hunter Biden will plead not guilty to the 3 felony gun charges relating to his possession of a revolver in 2018.
We have an update for you in the construction taking place for a bypass in Millsboro. This is video of the construction that we got from our Coast Copter. This week, crews were laying the foundation for a bridge that was being built across the Millsboro Pond near Gravel Hill Road. It's one of 3 bridges included in this bypass. DelDOT's Director of Community Relations says one of the main goals of this project is to reduce congestion on the roads in town.
It's going to really reduce that volume that's having to right now navigate through the streets of Millsboro and allow them to go north of Millsboro to reach their destination east and west of town.
This phase of construction will not add traffic to the roads. The agency expects the bypass to be complete by the spring of 2025.
Happening today, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell expected to announce the benchmark lending rate will hold steady as officials wait for more information to see how their previous hikes are affected or didn't affect the economy.
John Lawrence shows us how the ongoing strikes and the gas prices rising are adding to the concern for our nation's economy.
People are running out of the excess savings that they had. And banking sector loan growth has slowed.
By anyone's yardstick, the U.S. economy is facing a few financial hurdles.
Input costs are through the ceiling. My risk exposure is through the ceiling. It's a risky, scary time.
First, there's the United Auto Workers strike, which may soon expand.
If we don't make serious progress by noon on Friday, September 22nd, more locals will be called on to stand up and join the strike.
The writers' strike in Hollywood is also ongoing. AAA says gas prices are reaching record levels, affecting everyone from commuters to farmers.
Last year, we put out $31,000 in fuel. I'm scared to even imagine what it's going to be this year.
New home building in the U.S. collapsed 11% in August, according to the Census Bureau. And to top it off, Washington, D.C. has less than 2 weeks to prevent the government from being forced to close its doors.
We're days away, once again, from a government shutdown, all at the hands of this endless MAGA madness.
You know, I'm not a fan of government shutdowns. I've seen a few of them over the years. They never have produced a policy change.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
If the government does indeed shut down, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says it will halt releasing data and metrics including unemployment and inflation. That would hinder the Federal Reserve's ability to get a complete look at the overall economy.
And we still have more news to get to this morning on Coast TV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, Bethany Beach dealing with an increase of holes being left in the sand without getting filled. The consequences the town has in place to try and stop these actions.
Also, growth continues in Milton. The project's approved in the town and what could be coming in the future.
And we have details about one local school receiving national recognition. Coast TV News Today continues after the break.
Turn your home into a masterpiece with Artwork Painting. Local professional painters at an affordable price.
Artwork Painting did an excellent job with our house. We were really happy with all of the pieces of work they did, the drywall work, the walls, the trim. I would definitely recommend Artwork Painting for your house.
Artwork Painting treats our customers and their homes with care, delivering quality work and experiences. Call Artwork Painting now for a free same-day estimate. Artwork Painting, keeping Southern Delaware beautiful inside and out.
Today at 4 on Coastline, unlock the secrets to a successful career in real estate. Then purify your world with innovative home solutions. Plus, get inspired, captivating nature photography. Coast Life today at 4 on Coast TV.
We traveled the country and the world looking for cool gems and antiques just for you. Bringing a unique collection of items for the most interesting store at the beach. Here at Buddhas and Beads, we also buy estate jewelry, costume jewelry, gold and silver, or any antiques. We're always looking to build our collection. We buy one piece or an entire estate. We got a super cool shop, great prices, and we pay the most for your gold and silver. Come on in to Buddhas and Beads on Rehoboth Avenue.
When it comes to your home, you need a local contractor you can trust and quality you can count on. Spicer Brothers is properly licensed in Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia, and we're here to help.
Our team is committed to customer satisfaction, and we stand behind our work with our Platinum Plus lifetime warranty.
Right now, finance your entire project with no interest and no payments until 2025. So, for all your exterior and bathroom remodeling needs, call the company you can trust. Spicer Brothers, we've got you covered.
Performing outer space?
Yes, next July.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I can't change these plans.
.13 on our Wednesday morning, a cool start to the day. Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam. Well, daylight's starting to come on slowly but surely. 51 in Laurel. 49 in Selbyville. There's our 40s. 52 in Georgetown, 50 in Redden. A little warmer right along the beaches as we're at 60 in Rehoboth Beach right now. Light winds, and those winds will be lighter today, and we're looking at mostly clear skies. Some clouds to the south and to the north, but high pressure is in control, so it will be a nice day. Headed to the boardwalk in Bethany Beach, looking great. 50s early on. Make sure you grab that jacket, and then warming into the 70s with sunshine late morning.
New this morning, over $100 million of taxpayer money being used in Maryland grants for behavioral and mental health services. Now, these grants are targeted kindergarten through 12th grade students. Maryland officials say the goal is for schools to partner with providers within communities to be able to reach students and families before a crisis happens. According to Senate President Bill Ferguson, this money comes at a time when students are still dealing with the effects of that government-forced lockdown that it had on education. Some national recognition going to Lord Baltimore Elementary School in Ocean View. It was recently named a Blue Ribbon School. The Indian River School District has a history of this awards category. 12 schools have been awarded blue ribbons in the district since 2001. This year, just 3 schools in Delaware are blue ribbon schools, and overall, there are only 353 schools nationwide. Lord Baltimore was a winner in the exemplary high-performing schools category.
Microsoft is dealing with leaked internal communications about the release of future consoles and potential plans to buy Nintendo. The unredacted documents are from a legal battle between the FTC and Microsoft. The FTC is suing to block Microsoft from buying video game studio Activision Blizzard for nearly $69 billion. Microsoft hopes to close that deal next month. Forbes reported it appears the documents were accidentally leaked by Microsoft, which owns Xbox. All right, we're talking Powerball, the jackpot. It's worth about $672 million ahead of tonight's drawing. That's the 10th largest prize in the game's history. A person who matches all 6 numbers can get the full amount over several years, or you can get a smaller amount all at once. Powerball says the odds of you nailing that jackpot are roughly 1 in 292 million.
Still ahead, Milton approves a proposal to increase housing. We will tell you why this may only be the beginning.
And it's a clear and cool start. In fact, chilly. Some places in the 50s right now. 51 in Seaford. Starting to see a little bit of daylight. Sun's up in about a half hour, and the rest of the summer is looking good. That means the rest of the week, but rain and wind as fall arrives this weekend. It is a first alert weather day on Saturday. I'll break down the impacts coming up after the break.
Coverage on the road, in your community, along the coast. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town, the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep. Coverage you can count on.
Don't miss the Delaware Resort's Fall Home Expo at Cape Henlopen High School in Lewis, September 23rd and 24th. Admission is free. 100 exhibitors from throughout the Delaware region will present their products and services. Come see a wide array of new home products and service companies, bath and kitchen design, landscaping, outdoor and indoor designers, realtors, retirement advisors, all under one roof. Many of the exhibitors will be giving away gifts and prizes, and parking is free. Don't miss the free Fall Home Expo, September 23rd and 24th at Cape Henlopen High School in Lewis.
Dinosaur Adventure roars into Salisbury. One weekend only. Wacomico Civic Center. With life-size dinosaurs and massive family fun. Experience the thrill of the prehistoric age, featuring the ferocious T-Rex, Triceratops, Velociraptor, and more. Go on a realistic fossil dig. Take a ride on your favorite dinosaur. Bounce around in the prehistoric playground and a baby dinosaur meet and greet. Take an amazing dinosaur adventure. This weekend only. Wacomico Civic Center. Tickets at dinosauradventure.com.
On the next Tamron Hall, they may be little, but they dream big and have big talent.
Chef, this is delicious.
Meet the little dreamers blowing up the internet.
Rolling the tape.
Next Tamron Hall.
Wednesday at 3 on Coast TV.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Welcome to the new season with a deep cleaning by Stanley Steamer. Our certified technicians will renew your carpets, air ducts, upholstery, tile floors, and more, clearing away the dust and debris. We clean using powerful proprietary equipment and family-safe cleaning solutions to leave your space looking and feeling fresh. Call or go online to schedule your professional cleaning with Stanley Steamer today.
It is 6:18 on this Wednesday morning. A live look at Seaford on our Title Health Cam. It's only black and white because the sun hasn't come all the way up yet, but you can tell it's making its way. We see a lot more than we did like a half hour ago.
Yeah, it's a good indication that it's still dark outside.
Yeah.
Boy, we get those sunrises coming later and later. And we're starting to also hear Bob use the word chilly when describing the weather. I'm not liking that.
Well,
I am.
bad.
I love it.
Matt, sorry. Over that, yeah, summer's coming to an end. And, you know, when we dip into the 40s, it's chilly, right? I mean, I think so. It's definitely jacket worthy, and we are looking at a cool start. And we are looking at a nice end to summer, which continues through Friday. Should be dry and pleasant throughout, but now the models are kind of leaning towards some rain building in on Friday. But I have a first alert weather day for Saturday with heavy rain and wind, coastal issues, high surf, coastal flooding and erosions. And I just saw a wind gust perhaps Friday evening up to 50 miles per hour along the coast. So we will be looking looking at a pretty good coastal storm coming up as we go into Friday and Saturday. Temperatures now into the 50s, even 49 in Selbyville, 54 in Salisbury, 50 in Del Mar, 54 in Lewis, and 57 in Bethany Beach. And the winds are light right now. They'll be light today as we're looking at mainly clear skies, some clouds to the south and to the north as we've got high pressure in charge. However, there is a storm looming to the south off the Florida coast along a stationary boundary. We're watching a low pressure developing here, and it could take on some tropical characteristics. Will it be named as a tropical storm per se? Probably not, but it could be kind of a hybrid situation, a subtropical system that will be moving up the coast. So we're watching that. Otherwise, we're in good shape today. Temperatures into the 70s this afternoon, just a few clouds. Moving into your Thursday morning, we're looking at more clouds with 50s and 60s, mid-70s tomorrow afternoon. Then here come the thicker clouds with that coastal storm, and the winds will really pick up. This model has a rain moving in Friday afternoon and then getting heavy as we go into the evening hours. And look at these winds. Over 30 miles per hour Friday morning, and by 6 p.m. up to 50 miles per hour in Fenwick Island and Ocean City. So really blowing hard along the coast, and even inland gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour. The European model has the storm coming up a little slower, and it has the worst of it offshore. Now, if the center does travel to our east, the worst will be to the east. It will be on the better side of the system, but still windy and rainy into Saturday, and still some rain Sunday morning. And then we do start to clear it out on Monday, but the waves will be building around 4 to 8 feet and maybe even higher, especially offshore, closer to 8, 9, maybe 10 feet as we go into late Sunday. And then those waves start to come down on Sunday. So it looks like a pretty stormy weekend on the way. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 78 today, upper 70s Thursday. Right now it looks like the rain starts to build in and the wind picks up Friday for sure. And then Friday night into Saturday, windy and rainy. That's why we have a first alert weather day, 71, still some showers Sunday, 73, 70s and drier Monday and Tuesday.
And a reminder, you can hear Coast TV news and weather updates throughout the day on our radio stations. Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3, 93.5 The Beach, and Big 107.7.
We have an update on the story that we've been covering. This is out of Milton, where 96 apartments got preliminary approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission. It comes with several other large developments in the works for the town. Some neighborhoods like the granary proposed for Sand Hill Road would bring over 1,300 homes to the area. And Cannery Village also looking to expand with 100 homes. There are also other developments being discussed, such as one off of Route 5, but those are still in very early stages.
After the break, Bethany Beach safety concerns, the reoccurring problem with man-made beach holes, and how the town is addressing it. Don't go anywhere on Coast TV News Today.
Download the free WRDE weather app built by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Welcome to the Brush Factory. Explore our over 60 local merchants and artists all together under one roof. You just never know what you'll find at the Brush Factory on Kings. As we celebrate our 7th year in Lewis, our family would like to thank the entire community for all your support.
We could not have done it without you.
Experience the thrill of the race with Post Time with Heather Vitale, only on the Delmarva Sports Network. From the energetic sprints at Ocean Downs to the heart-racing action at Bally's Dover, all the way to the vibrant atmosphere of Harrington Raceway, we bring you the true pulse of harness racing. Sunday mornings at 8 and 11:30 on DSN, DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com, or on the DSN app. Post Time on Delmarva Sports Network. The Ducks classic hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The Duck on 107.1, 105.1, and 104.3. The station where you know the words to every song.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Developing story out of Bethany Beach, the town is still trying to tackle an increase in man-made sand holes. The town already has an ordinance in place against leaving what some might view as harmless, but what can actually be dangerous holes on the beach. Leaving a hole more than a foot deep violates Bethany Beach Ordinance 223-9. That can lead to a fine.
Okay, so just keep that in mind if you happen to hit the beach today, because we're going to have a great day to be on the beaches. Those clear skies, Bob, means plenty of sun today, too.
Plenty of sun, and take advantage of it the next couple of days because we have a wet and windy, stormy weekend on the way. Here's our UV index brought to us by Face of Grace, a practice in sun safety. And as far as the UV levels today and tomorrow, I have us at an 8 because we will see the full sunshine. Clouds increase Friday. It goes down to a 6. Saturday, a 2, very low because of the big storm coming up the coast, and then a 5 on Sunday. So when it's very high, once again, you know the drill, the higher SPF, find the midday shade, limit time outdoors, and avoid the sun late morning into early afternoon. Fall does arrive, wet and windy. I'll have more on that coming up.
All right, Bob, thank you. Also coming up on Coast TV News today, President Biden spoke on international issues at the UN General Assembly. We have the updates he gave on situations involving Ukraine and China.
Also, construction update for the Millsboro bypass, information on what stage of the project DelDOT is currently working on.
And some trash issues at the Indian River Inlet, the work of volunteers trying to dispose of the environmental problem. Coast TV News today returns after this break.
Get in gear with Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3.
It's Free Truck Fridays, your ticket to a new 2023 Ford Ranger thanks to Pohanka Ford of Salisbury. Stay tuned to Big D and Bubba all week as they reveal the Free Truck Friday song.
Then listen to April and me to play the song. Be caller 10 and you might be parking a new 2023 Ford Ranger in your driveway.
Drive over to coastcountry.com for all the details.
Coast Country's Free Truck Fridays with Pohanka Ford of Salisbury,
where your drive to work
could upgrade your ride home.
We traveled the country and the world looking for cool gems and antiques just for you, bringing a unique collection of items for the most interesting store at the beach. Here at Buddhas and Beads, we also buy estate jewelry, costume jewelry, gold and silver, or any antiques. We're always looking to build our collection. We buy one piece or an entire estate. We got a super cool shop, great prices, and we pay the most for your gold and silver. Come on in to Buddhas and Beads on Rehoboth Avenue.
Scoops and scores and Friday night lights. Football coverage like you've never seen before on the Delmarva Sports Network. Live game of the night every Friday, including the pre, half, and post-game show, Scoops and Scores. Plus, we'll take you around Delmarva for the latest real-time scores during Friday night lights. Tune in to DSN Friday nights this fall season. Scoops and Scores and Friday night lights, only on the Delmarva Sports Network. Local teams, big dreams.
When it's your home, we know you always want the best. And if it's unique, stylish, and custom made, Superior Screen and Glass is your place. We are dedicated to providing the highest quality craftsmanship to our clients on every project. With our Pella and Anderson certified windows and doors, we will help highlight the beauty and function of your home with energy efficient, protective glass. To make your business or home superior and beautiful, trust the experience and expertise of Superior Screen and Glass.
From the beaches to the bay, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News Today. Your morning news starts right now.
It's September 20th, 2023. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Paige Marley.
And we're approaching 6:29 on this Wednesday morning. Paige, we are tracking just another spectacular day today.
No complaints over here as we are heading out of summer into fall. We'll bring in first alert meteorologist Bob Chahi. He joins us to help you prepare as you head out the door. Hey there, Bob.
Hey, good morning, Paige and Matt, and good morning, Delmarva. Certainly feeling more like fall this morning as opposed to summer as we're looking at these are first 40s of the season, perhaps. 49 in Selbyville, 50 in Delmar, and 50 in Redden, 52 in Seaford, 60 in Rehoboth Beach. So grab that cup of coffee. Make sure the kids have a jacket on and you have a thicker jacket because it is chilly. At least the winds are on the light side. I think that will be the trend for today as we're looking at mostly clear skies. A few clouds to the south, maybe low clouds, southern part of Delmarva, and a few more to the north. Otherwise, looking at mostly clear skies as we have high pressure in place. So looking great on Futurecast, but it is chilly. Once again, we're getting closer to fall, those cool mornings. And then by noon, we're looking at mid-70s inland, around 76 in Millsboro, around Fort Delmar, 77. A little cooler along the beaches and a beautiful evening on the way. Today's checklist, don't need the umbrella or raincoat, definitely need the jacket. Might want to throw in a nice hot cup of coffee as well. Summer clothes for later, and the shades and sunscreen for sure.
Thanks, Bob. Volunteers at Delaware Seashore State Park say the trash problem there, it's getting out of hand. They're looking for ways to keep trash off the inlet as foot traffic increases at the state park.
Yeah, and Coast TV News reporter Heidi Kirk is live at the Indian River Inlet. And Heidi, you met someone who is making this issue a big priority.
Good morning, Matt and Paige. Yesterday, I met with Lisa Bellick here at the Indian River Inlet. She picks up trash 5 days a week as a volunteer here. Now, go ahead and take a look at your screens. You're going to see some footage that I shot yesterday on my journey with Bellick. Now, you'll see that footage. This is what she does several hours a day. And the number one thing she says she sees, cigarette butts and small pieces of trash scattered all throughout the park, so much so that she's sounding the alarm bells about this problem. Now, even though it's a non-smoking park, she says cigarette butts still continue to be the primary issue. And she's asking for solutions, as she says it's a problem that's bad for everyone.
We just have to be a little bit better. We're not going to be able to stop all the trash, but it impacts all of us. Nobody wants to sit on a beach and feel like they're sitting in an ashtray, right? So if I'm not picking up these cigarette butts, they're still here.
Matt and Paige, when I asked her how she feels like the state parks are doing as far as cleanup, she said they're actually doing a pretty good job. But she did say there's one area she could see improvement, which is in the signage department. She says she wishes there was signage letting people know that it's a non-smoking park, which might deter people from smoking and leaving their cigarette butts here. But she says overall they're doing pretty well. Now, I want to show you something. She sent me this text this morning on my phone. You're going to see the bucket of trash that she picked up just yesterday. This was just in a few hours when we were out here together. And I have to point out, in the bottom, she actually wrote, she picked up 40 cigarette butts just in a few hours yesterday. It is hard to believe. And it was fun to be out here with her and see the progress that she made in her dedication to making sure this park is clean. Back to you.
Heidi, thank you so much. Paving the way for a new bypass in Millsboro. This project aims to improve quality of life in the town. Coast TV's Britt Leone takes us to Millsboro to learn what progress has been made so far in construction.
Construction for the Millsboro bypass is underway right now. It looks a little different up here in the air than it does on the ground. Take a look at this view. You can see a construction crane putting what looks like steel beams for the start of a bridge to be built over the Millsboro pond there, and some other construction crews and equipment there.
This grader helps to lay the foundation for a new road. DelDOT says the project includes an overpass with a 2-lane, 2.5-mile-long road that connects to Route 24 and the bridge over the Millsboro Pond and the Norfolk Southern Railroad.
Residents and area businesses, they've experienced this long-term congestion trying to go through Millsboro for just a long, long time. So this is going to have a big impact on getting that through traffic out of the town of Millsboro. And we have a lot of local industry that has heavy truck traffic.
The goal of all of this construction? To increase safety and reduce congestion on the roads.
Now, the good news is DelDOT says this phase of construction won't increase traffic or add time to your morning and evening commutes. The agency says they expect the bypass to be completed by the spring of 2025. I'm Britt Leone in the Coast Copter, Coast TV News.
We have troubling news out of Salisbury to tell you about. A 12-year-old facing some of the most serious of murder charges. The Wicomico County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of a 2-year-old. Now, charges were filed against a 12-year-old child who lives in the same home. The Wicomico County Sheriff's Office says the 12-year-old was arrested and taken to Lower Eastern Shore Children's Center, where he's currently being held. And the charges include first and second-degree murder.
And also in Salisbury, a new indictment. This involving a death from a shooting. This happened during a 4th of July block party. According to the Wicomico County Sheriff's Office, a grand jury indicted Kyrie Van Leningham on 59 counts to include first-degree murder for his involvement in the July 5th murder. This happened on Chippewa Boulevard. Van Landingham was served the indictment and he still remains held without bond.
The union representing Canadian auto workers at Ford has reached a tentative deal with the U.S. automaker, and what this does, it averts a possible strike of more than 5,000 members. The Canadian union, known as Unifor, was ready to go on strike Monday night. That is until Ford made a last-minute offer. Now, it's not immediately clear what impact this deal might have on the negotiations between the UAW and Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, but the issues in the Canadian labor negotiations, there are similar issues behind the UAW strike happening in the U.S. We're going to take you live right now to New York City. You can see the beginning of a sunrise there. That is a great-looking shot. Now, New Yorkers were leaders from all over the globe. They're attending this week at the United Nations. 10:15 this morning, President Biden is scheduled to meet with Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu. It was on Tuesday. Biden talked supporting Ukraine, also maintaining with relations with China at the UN General Assembly. And speaking at the Assembly's 78th session, the president urged world leaders not to abandon Ukraine amid its ongoing war with Russia. This, despite little progress in the conflict and no hint at any peace negotiations. The president is also asking Congress for even more money to be funneled to Ukraine.
Russia alone bears responsibility for this war. Russia alone has the power to end this war immediately.
Since the war began in February of 2021, the United States has given over $75 billion in assistance to Ukraine. Still more to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Still ahead this morning, Maryland's statewide transportation tour. We have details of the pricey improvements coming to the Department of Transportation. Also, one of Delaware's high school field hockey powers looks for payback after a rare loss.
And an assault story involving a store clerk, the challenges investigators are facing in arresting a suspect. Coast TV News Today is back after this.
Fleischer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva.
We salute Bob Schneider, a distinguished veteran of the U.S. Army whose valor and expertise were demonstrated both in the air and on the terrain of Vietnam and Japan from 1967 to 1971. Specializing in Morse code, Mr. Schneider was instrumental in intercepting and deciphering enemy transmissions, thus furnishing critical intelligence on enemy troop movements and communication channels. Your dedicated service, Mr. Schneider, merits our deepest gratitude and respect.
If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Today at 4 on Coastline, unlock the secrets to a successful career in real estate. Then purify your world with innovative home solutions. Plus, get inspired, captivating nature photography. Coast Life today at 4 on Coast TV.
Fall into planting at Bella Terrace Garden Center. Autumn is the perfect time of year for planting. Come check out our locally sourced collection of trees and shrubs of all shapes and sizes. Did you know Bella Terra is open 7 days a week? Join our garden club for big savings and first access to all sale promotions. Stocked with the smallest of succulents to the tallest of trees, Bella Terrace Garden Center here for all your gardening needs. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, located right off of Route 16 in Ellendale.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
It's football season, and Delmarva Sports Network takes you into the action with Down and Distance, a new show with the Friday Night Lights matchup of the week, plus Delmarva players to watch, top plays of the week, Bayside and Henlopen Conference power rankings, and exclusive interviews with players and coaches. Tune in to DSN Fridays prior to our game of the night this fall season. Down and Distance, only on the Delmarva Sports Network. Local teams, big dreams.
Right here, spinning out, waiting for you.
1025 WBOC.
Just about 6:40 on our Wednesday morning. Sun's up in 7 minutes and looking beautiful out there on our Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam. Look at the red skies. Maybe not as pretty as that New York City live shot was, but still it's going to be a beautiful sunrise and a great day. It's a cool start. 50 in Del Mar, Selbyville, 50 in Redden. We had some upper 40s already. 60 in Rehoboth Beach as we're looking at clear skies right now. Some clouds to the south and to the north. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, and high pressure will keep us high and dry for today. Our Face of Grace UV index, a practice in sun safety, very high today and tomorrow, but then with clouds, it starts to drop on Friday down to a 2 on Saturday because of all the rain and wind, and then back to a 5 on Sunday. So make sure you have the higher SPF today and tomorrow. Find the midday shade, limit the time outdoors, and avoid the sun late morning into early afternoon. We do have a first alert weather day for Saturday for rain and wind. I'll have the impacts on that coming up.
Developing news from Selbyville, the police department there looking for this man you see on your screen. And they say he attacked a store clerk, knocking him unconscious. This happened Monday at a Dollar General in that area. And police say the man went inside the store on Church Street before 6 p.m. and there he hid several items from the store under his clothing. This is according to police. A Dollar General employee asked the man to leave. Police say the man then walked behind the counter and attacked the clerk.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Last night, Cape Henlopen Field Hockey had one thing on their mind: get back in the win column. And of course, they brought their A game. Cape Henlopen traveled out to Polytech for some field hockey action. The Vikings looking to get back in the win column against the Panthers following a loss to Smyrna. We start in the second half. Vikings ahead 2-0 with the Panthers attacking. That shot denied by Morgan Newcomb, the senior, keeping this game a shutout. Panthers goalie Delana Thomas also got in on the action. Thomas able to shift over from left to right between the pipes, stops this shot from rolling in. But Cape's offense wouldn't be stopped for long. Off the long shot, Addy Basile taps home the rebound, making this a 3-0 game with 6.5 left to go in the third quarter. Cape would continue to pepper the Panthers from the corner. Anna Watts stops this long shot from Hannah Manny, but it earns the Vikings a corner where Devin DeGregory's on the insert. Grace Wiggins stops it, winds, fires, and hits through the defense to make it a 4-0 game with 4.5 left to go in the third quarter. The Vikings go on to win this one 5-0, improving to 4-1 in 2023. The Vikings are back in action Friday, taking on Padua Academy at the Chase Fieldhouse. That'll do it for sports.
Still to come, highlighting Maryland transportation systems, the review on the Eastern Shore, and the cost of some of these projects.
A mainly clear and cool start to our day. Here's our Hershey Exteriors Cam. Great day for boating. Get out there, enjoy, because we've got a first alert weather day coming up on Saturday for wind and rain. Big changes as fall arrives on Saturday. I'll break down the impacts of the storm coming up after the break.
Bruno! Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get a low $359 per month lease on Rogue.
True Blue Jazz Festival brings bandleader and drummer Bobby Sanabria and his Multiverse Jazz Big Band to Nassau Valley Vineyards October 14th.
Hi everybody, it's Bobby Sanabria. Join me in my incredible 24-piece multi-Grammy-nominated Multiverse Big Band featuring Janice Siegel, Antoinette Montague, and Jennifer J. Ledesma on vocals as we perform a special concert dance honoring the Latin Jazz Big Band tradition as part of the True Blue Jazz Festival.
Get your tickets now at truebluejazz.org.
Right now, let's just run away. All that talk is killing me. I wanna say I wish that you never left. Oh, but instead I only wish you the best.
1025 WBOC.
Download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Bruno! Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get a low $359 per month lease on Rogue.
WRDE weather brought to you by Window World of Delmarva. Simply the best for less.
Window World of Delmarva will bring quality and beauty to your home, replacing your roof system the right way. Replacing your roof is not just shingles, it's a complete engineered system. We'll help you with your roofing project from start to finish. Save $500 off a new CertainTeed roofing system, offering better protection, durability, and many colors to choose from.
No matter the size of the project, you can trust Window World of Delmarva to get it done right.
Call now for a free estimate.
It is 6:45 on this Wednesday. Oh, love a good sunrise that has purple and pink in it. Take a look at that. That's live. That's by the Delaware Seashore State Park right there, isn't
That's
it?
underneath the bridge coming up over the Atlantic Ocean, just over the dune there.
Beautiful.
I love going to that state park.
Me too.
You got the Big Chill restaurant there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the all about me category, that's what the news tends to be sometimes, I'm asking about grilling weather on Friday. Bob, I was planning on it, but then I heard what you said, and it doesn't look good for grilling on Friday.
No, I mean, the good news is you get a lot of oxygen to those charcoals and really fire them up Friday evening, Matt. But the problem is it will be very windy, and I think the rain will be building in. So you might want to go gas grill, just plan B, bring it inside, because we are looking at wind and rain probably building in later Friday and on into Saturday and a part of Sunday as well. That's why it's important to have the Coast TV weather app. Scan the QR code right there. It's a beautiful week for the most part, dry and pleasant as we round out summer. But then the rain and wind builds in. A first alert weather day on Saturday. Heavy rain and wind really much of the day. And I think we could have some coastal issues with higher surf, perhaps some coastal flooding. The good news is we're not in a full moon. We're kind of in between moon phases, so we're good there. But we could see some beach erosion, so we're watching that. But first things first, this morning, it's cool out the door. You want to grab the jacket. Temperatures into the 50s out there. The winds are light, so that's a good thing. We had the gustier winds yesterday, but I think they will be lighter today as we're looking at mostly clear skies, gorgeous sunrise, a few clouds to the south and to the north. Otherwise, it's high pressure, and this high will keep us in good shape the next couple of days. Then after that, well, all bets are off because we're watching this area of low pressure developing off the Florida coast along a stationary front, and it could have some tropical characteristics. It's possible the National Hurricane Center could give this a name as we go down the road if this system does have a warm core to it. But it might be a hybrid system, but it's all semantics because I think it's basically going to be a coastal storm as it heads our way with wind and rain, if they name it or not. Futurecast this morning looking at temperatures in the 60s mid-morning, by noon into the 70s, by afternoon, some upper 70s inland, a little cooler along the beaches. And as we go into your Thursday, I think we'll start to thicken up the clouds. We'll see highs into the 70s. Then it gets really cloudy on Friday. Here comes the wind. And this particular model has a rain coming in by 2 o'clock. That might be a little early, but the trend is for that rain to really pick up in intensity as we go into Friday evening, and winds over 30 miles per hour late morning Friday, and then over tropical storm force by 6:30, up to 50 miles per hour in some places along the coast, and even flirting with 40 miles per hour inland. So we're looking at a windy, rainy scenario. This is a European model bringing the rain in a little slower, and it has the center of it tracking offshore, which would keep the heavy rain and the stronger winds offshore. But that said, we're still looking at heavy rain, maybe on the order of 2 to 4 inches. And then we're looking at that rain continuing on into Saturday night. And then another area of low pressure off the Virginia Capes as we go into Sunday morning with some wind and rain. But it looks like that too is offshore, the brunt of that. And then we do start to clear it out Monday. As far as the waves go, they are going to be high. And the way they come in certainly could cause some beach erosion along the Delaware and Maryland beaches. But 4 to 8 foot waves from Lewis down to Fenwick Island. You can see kind of that yellowish color indicating maybe 10-foot waves offshore, and then those waves will start to come down as we go into Sunday. Your Paul Davis 7-day forecast: 78 today, 77 Thursday. Clouds thicken up, rain and wind later Friday. It really kicks in on Saturday. Strong winds, heavy rain. We'll be watching it for sure. A high of 71, and then morning rain on Sunday. Then it clears out, and Monday and Tuesday look dry with highs into the 70s.
The Maryland Department of Transportation met with Wycomico County officials. This is part of something that they called a statewide transportation tour. The main focus of the meeting was the department's 6-year draft consolidated transportation programs.
And it's a pricey endeavor, set to cost over $21 billion, with a goal of creating safer, cleaner, efficient, and accessible transportation systems. program sets aside money for electric vehicle infrastructure, zero-emission transit, and buses.
So here's a breakdown of some of the projects that will receive big money. $3.8 million for capital grants that will support shore transit and Ocean City. Also, over $500,000 for the Salisbury Regional Airport runway expansion and $400,000 for the Carroll Street Cycle Track project and more.
Yeah, this draft program will be finalized and submitted in January for consideration during the 2024 General Assembly session in Annapolis. Traffic update in Worcester County. MDOT says an underground pipe replacement work that'll begin Monday, September 25th at Cedar Hall Road, Pocomoke City. Crews will close Cedar Hall Road between Dunn Swamp and Pitt Circle Road starting at 8 a.m. Monday through 8 a.m. on Friday, September 29th. MDOT says drivers will be guided from Cedar Hall Road using Pocomoke Beltway and Broad Street. Again, this project is expected to be finished by Friday.
It is 6:50 this morning. It's time now to check in with our coastal pet of the day, brought to you by Maggie's Pet Boutique.
Third day of the work week, we got 3 coastal pets to tell you about. Carl, the brown Frenchie. Walter is the gray Frenchie. And hi, Felicia. That's the dark gray Frenchie. Nothing on that one page?
No, I liked it.
Okay. These dogs are from Fenwick Island, and their favorite thing to do all summer, like myself, laying out in that morning sun. And in the afternoon, I also enjoy watching people like they do. Thank you, Allison, for sending us this picture.
I love when dogs have like superhuman names. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
Walter. That's just like a good human name. It's cute. All right, we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva, especially if they have cool names. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special.
You can email us at content@wrde.com, then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature.
We're looking at a gorgeous start to our day. Sun's coming up. Look at that sky on our Tunneling Razor Cam. It's going to be a beautiful late summer day. But we've got a first alert weather day heading into your Saturday for wind and rain with a storm coming up the coast. I'll have more on that coming up, and I'll have the 10-day forecast as well after the break.
When you visit the Delmarva Design Center, you'll experience a selection of appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring all together in one showroom. The 10,000 square foot location has a variety of inspiring samples for any project size or budget. Your dedicated product experts and designers collaborate to bring your dream project to life. Come and see what the kitchen industry buzz is all about. Experience the Delmarva Design Center in Selbyville, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva's coast.
Delmarva Home Show. Explore the hidden house gems here on the peninsula. Exciting tours of stunning homes, charming cottages, and luxurious beachfront properties. Designer ideas and insider tips to help inspire your home decor. Discover the best of Delmarva's architecture and interior design. A showcase of the most unique and beautiful homes on Delmarva. Start your tour Sunday mornings at 11:30 on WBOC.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
Delmarva's rock station for 35 years. 93.5, The Beach.
It's 6:54. It's time for some things you need to know before you go. Construction of the Millsboro bypass is underway. This week, crews were laying the foundation for a bridge being built across Millsboro Pond near Gravel Hill Road. It's one of 3 bridges included in this bypass. The phase of construction won't add any traffic to the roads. The agency expects the bypass to be complete by spring of 2025.
In Bethany Beach, town is still trying to tackle an increase in man-made sand holes it's recently seen. Town already has an ordinance in place against leaving what some might view as harmless, but what can actually be dangerous holes on the beach. Leaving a hole more than a foot deep violates Bethany Beach Ordinance 223-9, which that can lead to a fine.
At Delaware Seashore State Park, volunteers there saying there's a trash problem. Cigarette butts are the #1 piece of trash volunteers pick up at the park. Now volunteers are calling for park goers to clean up after themselves and hoping for signs to be put in to deter littering.
Powerball jackpot's worth about $672 million ahead of tonight's drawing. That's the 10th largest prize in the game's history. So here we go again. Powerball says the odds of nailing the jackpot, it's just roughly 1 in 292 million.
But it's not zero.
It's not zero.
So I'll take
There's
it.
still a chance, Paige.
There is. All right, with the official start of fall happening this week, it's a couple days away. The holidays, I'm so excited. They are sooner rather than later. The holidays, Matt.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, to help you prepare and get some shopping done early, Delaware State Fair announced the date for Holiday Shoppers Craft and Vendor Show.
That will be fun. The event will be held on Saturday, October 21st. According to the State Fair, you can shop for holiday decorations, some stocking stuffers, or a gift for your co-anchor.
Yeah. The State Fair days. Oh, my. They'll go off rain or shine. You know, I do watch Coast Life, so you were talking about this the other day, Paige, about how I think just a few weeks ago you kicked in your Christmas music, and my wife and I are like, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, she was okay with it.
Thanks.
I was like, that's typical Paige.
That's my girl. Hey, Shannon. Okay, let's keep it going. It is 6:56 now. Time for a quick look at your forecast before you head out your door.
All right, meteorologist Bob Tri has more. What is shaping to be a great day today, Bob.
It will be, Matt. And I saw you make that face about the holidays. You're not being a Scrooge, are you? You like the holidays, Matt, right? I know you like summer, but, you know, that's going away, so we have to embrace the holidays coming up. And it's feeling cool this morning. We have temperatures in the 40s and 50s, warming through the 60s today and looking at mostly sunny skies as we go into the afternoon. And here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast, around 78 later today. A couple more nice days to round out summer, and then as fall arrives, it gets windy and wild. I think we're going to see rain developing later Friday. It gets windy, maybe wind gusts over tropical storm force. That means 40 to 50 miles per hour into Saturday with rain and coastal impacts. Also, that rain lingers into Sunday. We'll watch it, and then it dries out into next week.
Bob, thank you, and thank you for joining us on Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
We'll be back with Coast TV midday at 11, so stick around.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and Weather apps. Have a great Wednesday morning, everybody.